Hello, and welcome to this new edition of XDI Live, a special edition with uh, some good surprises around education and PLM consulting and education in the PLM world. So I'm pleased to be joined today with a group of XDI colleagues as well as some esteemed colleagues from AUI University in Morocco. So first with our XDI colleagues.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. Is my voice coming through okay? Can everybody hear everybody on the call here?
Yep.
There's a slight delay, but we can hear you. Yep, I can hear you.
Perfect. Well, again, thank you very much, everybody, for joining us in this special edition of XDI Live. I am pleased to join here today with a number of colleagues, Shawn Chadwick, Stephen Madge, Paul Clark from XDI, and Nabil Rhiati, Rachid Lghoul from AUI. So maybe we can get started and just do some quick intros around the table and get started. Shawn, I'll start with you.
Oh yeah, thanks, Sufyan. Yeah, I head up XD Innovation for Euro North and responsible for helping and growing the business within the UK, Benelux, and Nordics regions.
I'll go next.
Hello.
Oh no. Go. Paul, you go first.
Sorry,
Age
Steve.
Before beauty. Age before beauty.
My name's Paul Clark. I've been working with XDI since November last year. I'm one of the solution architects, specifically in the PLM domain, working with JLR and amongst some other projects.
So now, Steve and Madge, welcome to meet you all. Happy to be here. I've been involved in the technology space for about 35 years, predominantly automotive. I had my first exposure to PLM over 20 years ago through Dassault Systems. Katia even earlier. I'm a vice president of XT Innovation, working very closely with Sufyan on new strategic strategies. That's a mouthful, and new innovations. So I'm happy to be here today.
Perfect. Thank you, Stephen. And I had to change my setup a little bit as my first setup was
it wasn't working.
So thank you for covering for me there, Stephen. Paul, maybe a quick intro from you, please.
I've already gone through the intro, Sufyan.
Just yourself, Paul.
So joined XDI November. Have one of the solution architects within the PLM domain, working kind of within the automotive sector, and kind of starting to maneuver our way into the high-tech world.
Perfect. Thank you, Paul. And we're also pleased to have today with us a couple of our colleagues from Akhawayn University, which we'll start referring to as AUI. So maybe Rachid or Nabil, please go ahead. Introduce yourselves.
All right. So my name is Nabil Rhiati, and I'm full-time faculty with the Akhawayn University. I've been here since 2015. So I work for the School of Science and Engineering.
Okay. My name is Rachid Lghoul. So I did start working with the EUI a long time ago as a staff member, and I worked also as an embedded system engineer. Then I started working as a full-time faculty. So basically, I'm teaching a class related to design, to engineering, where we have to teach future engineers about the best practices in engineering. And actually, PLM is one of the trends in this orientation. I'm happy to be with you here today to investigate how to move forward with this PLM program.
Perfect. Well, we've got an agenda that's full. We'll get started potentially with some introductions. A lot of the people that attend our show know who XDI is, but for some of the new people that may be joining us today, we'd like to do a very quick introduction about who XDI is, XD Innovation. Then maybe our colleagues at AUI can give us a little bit of an introduction for AUI and a little bit about the university and specifically the School of Engineering and Sciences. And then we'll move into just a little bit of an educational session on the history and what PLM is and what we're trying to achieve with the partnership with between XDI and AUI. And then maybe go a little bit and do, I think, what everybody would be looking for, which is an overview of the course and what it entails and some of the topics covered. And again, the course is coming up here at AUI campus in between August 22nd and August 30th as a summer lecture session offered in partnership between AUI and XDI. So without further ado, maybe Shawn, you can just give us a very brief introduction of XDI.
Yeah, no problem, Sufan. So XD Innovation is a services company purely focused in PLM. We're a reseller and services partner for Dassault Systems, focusing on complex manufacturing and cloud-first mentality. We focus on mainly 4 areas within PLM and consulting. So one of the main areas is digital transformation and business consulting, providing services in implementation and integration of engineering services. We provide side-by-side R&D and engineering services, so we can help an end client to use technology to build their product, build and design their product. We also provide training and education. So we're a certified education partner for Dassault Systems, so provide certified engineers. And we also provide software sales where we can sell the Dassault Systems software from CAD, PLM, digital manufacturing, and MES software. Focus on across a number of different industries, from transportation and mobility, covering cars, buses, trains, aerospace and defense, high tech, as well as marine and offshore, and consumer goods and life sciences. We have a presence across many parts of the globe, focused in North America, in Europe, around UK, Benelux, Nordics, France, and in Morocco, as well as having a presence in India, and more recently we've organised in Japan as well. So we focus on some of the really high industry. We've got some really cool clients such as Canoe. We work with Jaguar Land Rover. We also work with some high tech such as Ericsson as well. So it's a great organisation we're working for. So yes, just a brief overview of XD Innovation.
Well, thank you very much, Shawn, for that introduction. And I think equally important for this discussion, maybe as a segue, this global education partner for Dassault Systems, one of the leaders in this industry. And we are proud to be involved in many educational programs for the industry. And more recently, our announcement of this new partnership with AUI. Again, with any further ado, maybe Rachid, you can give us a little bit of an introduction around AUI and the School of Engineering and Sciences.
So in general, EUI is a public university with autonomous management. We have like 3 schools and a language center. We are following the North American model in education, so liberal arts approach. As for our school, which is School of Science of Engineering, it offers like bachelor and master degrees in general engineering, in computer science, in renewable energies, and other majors. So we actually did like a vision towards like the digital transformation, and the school has opened a large number of programs related to that. we have like several partnership with US and with all the world. We are a small university located in Morocco, and we have like around 5,000 students. And the language of education is English, and this is the first university that offer education in English. We are open to collaborate with the industrials, and we have like goals to secure jobs for students before they graduate. We are also trying to fill the gap with the needed profile in Morocco and outside. So this is basically us. So there's a lot of to say with the with UI, but we can discuss it, and the website has a lot of information about that. So Sinabil, if you have something to add.
Right. So the School of Science and Engineering has a vision to be internationally recognized. Thus, this partnership with XDI. So AUI is the premier English language engineering school in Morocco that is serving national and global needs through the innovation and all the kinds of different programs. Some of the programs that we offer at the School of Science Engineering at AUI are the Bachelors of Engineering and Management Science, the Bachelor of Science in General Engineering, the Bachelor of Science in Renewable Energy Systems, Bachelor of Science in Manufacturing and Logistics Engineering. So the idea for this PLM Fundamentals course is to start students on getting ready for the final product, which is this 3D Experience PLM Consultant certification. So basically, this PLM Fundamentals course is a foot in the door to get through the certification. So again, the course is to be offered in an intersession this coming August. So it takes place at the university on campus from August 22 till August 30th. And this class will provide students with a comprehensive understanding of PLM, and it will cover key concepts and methodologies and practical applications. Through this program, students will gain the necessary knowledge about the dynamic field of PLM. So the School of Science and Engineering has launched several programs, like I said, to produce future engineering and engineers and leaders. And the PLM Fundamentals course will serve this goal. And at the same time, we are keeping an eye on the employability factor, because the university is really keen on getting students jobs actually in their last semesters. So by taking the PLM Fundamentals course through XDI, we can get students the necessary skills to finish up their certification. Not only that, we're hoping to get top students internships within XDI, and hopefully go from there to get job placements once they finish their certification.
Absolutely.
So,
Please go on, Nabil.
I was just going to say that this PLM course, Fundamentals, is among other courses that we hope that students will follow later on once they take this course, whether be it in this coming up intersession. We're hoping actually that this course becomes part of the curriculum in the School of Science and Engineering among any of the programs we offer. So this course will be first in a series of courses. So we have the Value Engagement Fundamentals course, and the 3D Experience Configuration and Development, the 3D Experience Web Services, and the 3D Experience Platform Installation Fundamentals. So these courses will come up afterwards. But again, we need the PLM Fundamentals course to get people on track to get ready for what comes next, and hopefully continue with the certification program that XDI offers.
Well, that's great. Thank you.
May I add something, Sinabil?
Absolutely. Please go ahead.
So I need just to mention that all our programs are ABET accredited. It means there is like a process starting from the recruitment of the students till closing the loop by looking where students are, where they work, etc. So, and even the parent courses is gonna go through like a process through the program committee to see that it is gonna fit with the whole program, etc. So I just want to mention that we are accredited. It means that all classes follow like standardization.
No, that is great to hear. So a lot to cover there. Just in summary, XT Innovation, a premier Dassault System global partner, specializing in digital engineering and smart manufacturing solutions, as well as the prestigious University of Al Akhawayn University, AUI, which is based in Ifrane, which is, a lot of people call that the Switzerland of Morocco. Beautiful mountains and lots of snow and skiing and chalets in the winter time, which you wouldn't necessarily associate with Africa, but it's a beautiful place. A lot of current leaders in government and industry are alumni of Al Akhawayn University in Morocco. And to my knowledge, you guys were first in many different areas, which is, again, being the first university to be English speaking only university, first university, major university in that region of Morocco, and now possibly the first university in Morocco to offer PLM. To my knowledge, I'm not aware of any other PLM type education in the sense of educating PLM consultants. So thank you again for your partnership. And maybe to take it back a little bit in terms of PLM, and maybe for some of our followers and listeners that may not be familiar with what PLM is, and if I may ask you, just to give us a brief overview of what is PLM, what is its history, and maybe why consider PLM as a future if you're a young engineer looking to get into consulting.
Who was that directed to, Sufyan?
That was directed to you, Stephen.
That's what I thought. There was a time lag. That's what I was asking. Well, a few fundamentals about PLM, and so let me explain my understanding. PLM, I first heard about the PLM, the three letters, about 25 years ago, and it was explained to me as being an easy management tool that helps integrate and collaborate within organizations. Today, it's sort of viewed as a complete life cycle product. So if you take a concept, an idea, through all the logical steps of engineering and management, right through to production, PLM brings it all together, helps in collaboration, and hopefully will help the manufacturers produce a better product. I looked up this morning who was the inventor of PLM, because I thought it was either Dassault Systems or Siemens. It was, in fact, someone called Otto Kleppner in New York in 1931 that came up with the concept, an early version, if you like, and he called it combining pioneering, competitiveness, and retentativeness. Retentative means remembering the facts, the numbers, and making the next loop round better. So that essentially is what PLM is. Today, it's a highly sophisticated enterprise software that ensures that product development, resources, people, capacity is brought together to ultimately produce a better business solution. The first major car company that I'm aware of that introduced PLM was actually American Motors back in 1985, when they were looking at ways to speed up their CAD data, connect it with their manufacturing data to produce a better Grand Cherokee. That was the objective. They succeeded, and our partner, Sufyan mentioned them, Dassault Systems, introduced their Innovia PLM solution, I think it was in the early 2000s, with some of the major clients of Dassault Systems adopting it earlier. Tesla, as you may probably not be surprised, were an early adopter of the solution back in 2010. And today, Dassault Systems is ranked number one provider of PLM and engineering solutions in the world. So they've done a great job. That's our partner, and that's who we're hoping to work with the AUI on this course.
Perfect. Thank you, Stephen. Indeed, PLM has become not only a new industry, but a new skill and trade that and career that somebody can undertake. So I guess my next question would be to Shawn. Shawn, you've got a number of years of experience managing a number of different PLM consultants, being a PLM consultant yourself when you started. If you can just walk us through maybe the different roles that a PLM consultant can have within a digital transformation project, and maybe maybe a little bit of a teaser around the day in the life of a PLM consultant and what they do day to day.
Yeah, no problem, Sufyan. So yeah, I mean, the roles that you can get within a PLM environment is very diverse. So you can get people that are focusing on the infrastructure, where you would ultimately install the PLM application. You can get people that look after the development of, or the configuration and the expansion of the product once you've identified how it's going to be implemented into a customer environment. You can have business consultants that focus on how a client or a customer uses the technology, how they can transform the way that they do business to take advantage of the technology and do things better, more efficiently at a better cost. You can be identified as a solution architect that identifies all of these different building blocks of different technologies and pulls them all together into an end-to-end product and solution that can be used to improve the product development. That can all be focused around the engineering environment, right through to the manufacturing and into the support environment. So that's the type of roles. It's a very diverse set of roles. The day in a life, I think that's really what keeps me interested in the PLM environment, because they're very diverse, and I don't think there's any one day is the same. But you can be working with some very, very cool clients and customers to understand how they do things. You can turn that into a new business process. You can take that into how they design new products in a more interesting way. So it's the day in the life of a PLM consultant is exciting. You're working with cool customers. You're designing really, really innovative new products. So yeah, it's where I like to be, and I think that's the really why I've been working in the PLM industry for so long. It's so yeah, I don't think, just to summarize, I don't think there's any one day that's the same, which is always good.
Absolutely. And I think the innovation world is fast moving. So PLM consultants do keep up with a lot of these innovative companies, whether they're developing planes and I think cars. And I think that's also something that I would add as being a cool part of the job, which is working with different clients in different industries, building different products. So you do get a broader view as a PLM consultant working with different customers, as opposed to just working with maybe one singular customer industry throughout your career. So diversity. So I guess that leads me to my next question, maybe to you, Stephen. Who are the right profiles to pursue just a career as a PLM consultant? What kind of skill?
May I interrupt you just, Sufyan, just to follow up on what you said? Just from the perspective of the academia, how we are looking for the PLM. So basically, we are looking that there is like next products, next generation of products. They will be very complex. Then the challenge, as you said, is the innovation. And while looking for tools or ways to solve the problems, we're gonna find the PLM is at the heart of all of these. So this is basically how the academia are looking for a PLM as a solution for some complex problems. So
yeah, so you bring up a great couple of points, Rachid. The first one is absolutely products are getting more and more complex, and not only are they getting more and more complex, but industry is supposed to deliver them in less and less time, right? They have less time, less budget, and more complexity to work with. So it's a huge issue. That's why efficiencies have to be built in place. Completely agree with you. And the second one is, like you said, is around the using PLM as a business acceleration engine, so to speak, building efficiency. Absolutely. I mean, do you care to add more to this, Rachid, Nabil? Anything you guys want to add to this?
I mean, I guess
Sorry for the
Sirashid has mentioned, like in his class, that there is a need for students to actually start learning. As a matter of fact, Sirashid is already using a Dassault system software, SolidWorks, in his class. But we need students to move on to the next step, which is after design, to understand the whole idea behind like product life cycle, like bringing up the final product to the customer. So again, the PLM fundamentals course is going to be able to do that with the knowledge that XDI brings in.
No, that's a great point. And tying it back to the earlier conversation, with products being more complex, there's a lot of components that make up any one product, different trades, and bring in one platform where they can all collaborate. That's what PLM stands for. It's bringing all these mechanical engineers, electrical engineers, software engineers, product managers, purchasing, business planning, all of these different stakeholders that need to be contributing to the product development, whether they're engineering or business users. They all interact with PLM, which is why PLM is so interesting to learn, because not even if you're a business a person in a company that uses PLM, you may have to interact with such systems. So it gives students a great understanding. So I guess with that, I go back to the question I was going to address to Stephen is, which are the right profiles, that could pursue such a career as PLM students? What kind of skills or interests should they have to pursue such a career?
Yeah, I can speak to that, Sufyan. I think you've touched on many of the points just in your previous comments, but I came, as I've said, from a technical background. So I was looking at engineering, simulation, visualization, that type of thing. But it's also equally as important for business people to understand the cost, the time, the investment required of a product as it goes through the steps, through design, engineering, through manufacturing. It's people with a scientific background that understand the science behind materials and costs and so on. Pretty much anyone with an interest in a product or following a product, be it design or engineering, I think would be applicable for this course. Scientists, engineering. I think about the businesses that we're involved with at XD Innovation. We've spoken about Tesla and JLR and Boeing, but it can quite equally be fashion and lifestyle. I spent a few years in New York using PLM systems for Coach handbags, believe it or not, to improve their assortment and time to market. Highly complex medical devices, even energy and utilities are using it, not to mention pharmaceuticals. It's ultimately about getting cost and time to market right. That's basically what it's about. It's controlling all of those silos, those pillars that typically in days of old didn't talk to each other particularly well. It's connecting all of those dots. That's what PLM is about. So you could be an engineer, a designer, a tool maker, a manufacturer, a logistics expert, a business consultant. As Shawn said, it includes all of those things on a daily basis. I'm not sure if that answered your question, but
great,
everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've engaged with PLM projects in companies making perfumes.
Yeah, exactly.
And beauty products. So PLM really, yes, we can think about it in the sense of discrete manufacturing like aerospace and automotive, but there is a huge PLM opportunity in apparel, like Stephen just noted, but also process industries, oil and gas, chemicals, beauty and health, food and beverage, a lot of different. I guess with that being said, that's why it was important for us to set up this PLM course as a fundamentals course. Maybe with that is a good segue to pass it on to Paul, and you can walk us through the the course outline what you should expect to learn.
Yeah, sure. Iman, were you going to present the slides? Yes, here we go. So this is a course where we obviously talk about the kind of the PLM fundamentals, and it's split into two halves. We've got the theory half, and we've got the practical hands-on experience that I'm going to be touching on in the next slide. So the theory is all about kind of, as Stephen touched on, the kind of the history of PLM, where how it arrived, what kind of the high level definition of it is, and kind of the way that the different roles and people interact with each other. We then talk about how, as an IT solution, PLM is deployed. We're obviously from a kind of a Dassault vendor, so we'll be talking about it in a certain context in that environment. We'll then look at how the business itself, how the different kind of people within the business with their different roles, how they talk to each other, and all, as Stephen again mentioned, you got the different kind of the engineers, the designers, the project managers, etc., the manufacturing engineers, and so on, and how do they all interact with each other in this process? Bearing in mind, this is all about how you get a product from an idea into production and beyond. We then look at how PLM is defined in different industries. Again, as mentioned, it's not traditionally what may be seen as an automotive or an aerospace application or a methodology. It can be used within kind of the clothing sector or the perfumes, as we touched on earlier. And then we talk about kind of where we see PLM moving ahead in the future. We've got the exciting innovations with Industry 4.0 and kind of how that all fits in with that. The theory is traditionally, when you go to a class, is kind of relatively dry. Somebody talks and you listen. What I do not want this to be is that. I want to make sure that we use the time that we have to talk about our own kind of experiences that we've had. We've got kind of myself, Shawn, Sufyan, as kind of very knowledgeable, hugely experienced people that can talk about their experiences, those situations that both worked or didn't work. It's always good to understand when things don't work because we need to learn from them. We, throughout this time, we'll be talking about kind of, where your career path could fit into it and the different roles and so on. And I certainly want this to be very interactive. I want to have discussion with the those attendees. Iman, could you go to the next slide, please? So, as I mentioned, I want this, the first week is the theory. The second week, I'd like to then put what we've learned in the classroom into a practical scenario. So, this, I want everybody, would want everybody to be involved in this. This is kind of very much hands-on approach, and we'd all kind of get to work with this. So I have an exercise in mind that the people in XDI are aware of, which apparently is unorthodox, but I think is going to be very interesting, and I think it will fit in very much with the location as to kind of where we're going to be delivering this course. But fundamentally, even though it's an application and we're going to be using this tool, we'll be able to talk about the kind of the principles that we learned in the theory and put it into actual practice. And we can start to see how the different people involved in the business come together and work with the data that we're going to create through this exercise. So I'm hoping it's going to be an interesting couple of weeks. I think it'll be, I'm certainly looking forward to being involved in meeting the people that's going to be on this course and sort of talking about our experience, but also talking about this PLM and how it fits in moving forward. Does that cover things?
Absolutely, that's perfect. And maybe our colleagues from AUI, maybe Rachid or Nabil, if you want to add anything.
I think this collaboration between industry and academia will make the class or the course strong. Why? Because from the academia perspective, we care a lot about the methodology to prepare a class, assessment, and how to bring like more pedagogical stuff to the class. And from the perspective of the industry, they have like the hands-on and the real examples, etc. And I think this is like a good thing that will make the course strong and benefic for both audience, for people that already started the job market, or people or students, normal students that they will improve or add something to their CV, so their employability will be increased. So this is what I would like to.
No, that is a great point, actually, that we should stress on. The course obviously is open to AUI students, but to my understanding, please correct me if I'm wrong, my understanding is that it's also open to industry professionals. So if you're not currently a student in Morocco, but you work in industry or you have an interest in
Yes,
or
yes.
graduate, you're welcome to contact AUI and register for just a one-off course.
Yes, this is what you're correct. So we are looking for both audiences, students, and other people, externals.
Yep, recent grad
Welcome.
industry.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, this is great, and we're hoping again to build a great, innovative community with the AUI partnership and build the next generation of PLM consultants, because there is a lot of need, whether that's in Morocco locally, but also in Europe, in North America. There's a lot of need to cover these projects that need consultants. So again, the PLM Fundamentals is the first course. There is a path by which students can obtain their certification, working closely with XDI. So the first step is to take the PLM Fundamentals course at AUI, and then there are 4 or 5 other modules that would need to be taken to get fully certified as in our case, a Dassault System PLM consultant. So we welcome those interested to reach out to us, reach out to AUI. And with that being said, I'll see if there are any questions, if we have any questions from the audience, and then close out with the final comments. So I guess the first one here is from Mr. Mark. Says, hi all, it is my understanding recent graduates with expertise in PLM are in high demand and well compensated too. That is absolutely the case. And I think this is a global thing. It's not just in Morocco, but globally in Morocco, in the UK, in Europe, in the US, in Asia, there is a great level of demand for PLM consultants. So great opportunity to pursue. Any other questions? Any other closing comments from our audience?
I would say not from the audience, but from myself. It's probably offers. I think you mentioned it actually, Shawn. Such a broad perspective of being involved within an organisation, rather than being stuck in one particular department all of your life, engineering rubber seals, for argument's sake, or gearboxes. You're exposed to an entire enterprise from the ideation or the research departments through engineering and manufacturing. You're touching so many points of a company. I think it makes you a much more rounded person as it relates to the organization you work for, and therefore knowledgeable. And you can take that knowledge and probably apply that system to multiple industries, so often referred to as cross-fertilization of industry knowledge. So the more I think about it, it's a pretty cool position to be in.
It sure is, Stephen. Thank you. So again, thank you very much for our audience, the people who were able to follow us here today. The recording will be available afterwards. Thank you for our esteemed guests, my colleagues from XDI, our new colleagues from UI. Thank you for your time. And for those interested in attending this course, This one is in Morocco this August, but we'll have follow-on courses. Please do get in touch, and we'll make sure we give you all the information you need. Thank you again, everybody. This is the end of our broadcast. Have a great day, great rest of the week for everyone.
Thank you, Sufyan.
Thanks
Thank
a
you,
lot.
everybody.
Goodbye.
Thank you, Sufyan.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone.
Bye, teams.